Hey guys, this is the Econ Writer here, wishing you all a happy holidays with my first ever winter countdown. And even the frigid winter with climates that are ever present. A lot of gamers usually hate ice levels. Despite their amazing glistening scenery, the physics can also ruin the experience, like even in real life. But no fret, these Arctic levels contain both snow and ice, and they usually tend to have a decent footing and a memorable, likable atmosphere to match. So let's check out my top 10 Arctic levels in video games. Enjoy the holiday winter season and this list. Alright, this top spot shouldn't be considered much for a holiday level, unless if you're referring to Krampus. But Sector 5, aka the Arctic Sector, has a lot of classifications to the words chilling terror. Literally, this environment can even go below Sub-Zero. Heh, he may even have a field day with this. It's so frigid that Samus needs to find a Varia suit before progressing, as the extreme colds would hinder her, especially as a result from the Metroid vaccine she received prior to the mission. This has proven to be a very fatal environment, as it is home to the dreadful terror Nightmare, as you'd see him later on flying around the adjacent electric junkyard. Not only that, but seeing your old nemesis Ridley coming to life is indeed terrifying. Even when Nightmare looks around and while you're being chased by the SAX! Not only that, but unlike all the other sectors, this one in particular is visited 3 times throughout the game! 3! Ugh, man! I feel sorry for anybody since they need to go back for their ice missiles, power bombs, and of course the showdown with the disturbing big bad. But yeah, the reward is satisfying once you've conquered all your fears here.
Don't you do it! Yeah! He's dead! No more nightmares! Yeah!
Jeez. Having a barely uninhabitable environment that can be below any living temperature, having several horrors and nemesis awaiting you, and housing some of the most vital weapons and terrifying segment in all of the BSO research station, and feeling the sheer sudden cold, even from the music both internally and externally. It's almost like visiting Satan's domain in treachery. God, this really does mean a lot of phrases. That hell does freeze over, and it shouts out to fierce icy grip, clutching your soul. Very significant choice for an Arctic level. Most puzzle solvers can't be done well when it's combined with slippery ice physics, but Ocarina of Time had done a pretty decent job with its mini-dungeon, the Ice Cavern. Originally this was supposed to be a main dungeon, along with an air temple, but sadly it's been scrapped. Still, what we're given was an okay choice. Aside from the tricky icebergs getting there, but once you do, you can be in for quite a challenge. Out of the frying pan and into the freezer, Link navigates through to find the secret of the endless sheets of ice the Zoras were trapped under, as well as collecting blue fire for melting the rare red ice. This is a very small dungeon as it's only one floor, though the navigation can take some getting used to, especially when dealing with the annoying blade traps, ice guillotine, the constant falling stalactites, the ice keys, and of course the freezards. This is why I wanted a Charizard or Kabutops to help out. Plus you can lose a lot of friction while sliding across the ice pallets, even when you need to shift the large ice cubes around. Whether it be gathering treasure or simply pushing through, these mazes can really keep you on your toes, as long as you don't fall off or get too frustrated with its level design. Hey, at least it's a lot more tolerant than that section in Canon's Castle, even slightly better than Slowpoke's. Well, in Johto. Oh, and lest we forget the music. At the end you come face to face with a white Wolfo. Seriously? That's the best mini-boss you got? Along with the awesome Iron Boots. And later the Essential Zora's Tunic after freeing King Zora from his 7-year frozen prison. Isn't giving the gift of life just magical? Still, I wonder what the place would look like if it didn't have that icy aesthetic. Yes, my all-time favorite level from Snowflake Mountain. I always loved flying around this majestic place. I love every aspect of it, from the music to the scenery. At least the blizzard isn't so blinding, like another certain game I know, to the awesome feel when flying in an airplane or zipping through with the hovercraft, and just having fun going through the zippers. A perfect successor to the final main course from Dino Domain. Wish it wasn't so short, though. The Silver Coin Challenge can be a bit tumultuous, but you know what? That won't ruin the experience. Unless some sneaky Grinch fires from behind you. Still, it's a blast, mostly to fly through. And as a kid, I sometimes thought that Snowflake Mountain was actually a part of Third Earth, where Snowman and Snowmeow live. Ask my naive 10-year-old self. Or perhaps just flying next to Dante's Peak before the mega monster should wake up. Ah, Christmas in '97. Those were some good times. Okay, I can understand no one mentioning Whiteland on account on how tricky some circuits can be. But honestly, guys, you're missing out. Much like Port Town was back in the original, it was just sheer eye candy. And it's pretty rewarding since the Queen League has some more trickier courses than its predecessor. For a first game in 16-bit, Nintendo did an amazing job deflecting a sparkly Arctic environment, complete with the white, pink, and purple textures that sometimes remind me of the pieces in Tetris. It just meshes very well, and the music itself represents the winter season fairly well, while racing through a winter wonderland. But enough of the aesthetics. The race itself can be loads of fun, mostly with the jump plates and magnets. despite the slippery curves and short pit area. And as long as some sneaky Grinch crashes into your machine, then that's when things get very rough. The final course of the Queen League is a lot more troublesome, as the turns more technical, and the infamous jump when I'm sure a lot of players, including myself, had a real difficult time crossing it. So much so that I even made it as a plot point in my F-Zero fanfics, especially for Tinsel. I hadn't played X yet, but the courses in GP Legend were hit or miss. Too bad GX never had any gifts to give. The flower courses may be a little patience trying, but as long as you have a machine with a moderate weight like the Dragon Bird, or light as the Twin Narita, but still tends to have that awesome atmosphere, even its music, Climb Up and Take the Last Chance, tends to have that wintry feel the original used to have, even when it plays its own version in the Platinum Cup, and also making the tricky gap a lot more tolerable. It's just the gift that keeps on giving, whether naughty or nice. Also, it made some decent appearances in the anime as well, and this kind of bugs me, but shouldn't Whiteland be a part of Planet Alcatraz instead of rumored to being the petty planet White? Just a thought. Heh, wow, another puzzle level has been done right and made the cut, and it's a lot more lenient than the Ice Cavern. Introducing Falls Basin from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Much like the aforementioned Ice Cavern, it serves as a mini-dungeon in the game, but unlike the Ice Cavern, it's designed more as a puzzle solver, and a little lesser on combat. There are only a few enemies that reside there, including the huge snow crab at the end, and it's sandwiched between the Ice Pyramid and the Ice Cave, which makes it a decent breather, especially from the very tricky Pyramid, which was why it wasn't on the list. Benjamin and Phoebe, which I consider as the best party member, traverse through and move blocks to serve as obstacles throughout the basin. That was the fun part, along with its exploration, and it's home to a healing spell which you must not miss, as well as the awesome large bombs, which serve well in this location and throughout the whole game. Very decent reward after defeating the boss at the base of the basin. And the music? Very well used here. Once the water crystal has been restored, the place becomes inaccessible. Kind of a shame since it was a decent mind-bending level, especially as a great representative as a puzzle-oriented location for the Final Fantasy juggernaut and for this list. This was a great contender for the list. Snow Barrel Blast was completely irresistible. As the starting level of Gorilla Glacier, this is where an awesome wintry level is at. It's got the perfect atmosphere of one, even with its fair ice physics, its constant fun blasting from barrel to barrel over large gaps, and the weather changes drastically as you traverse through it. And the music can't possibly be beat. especially when it transitions with the environment from a clear sky and a calming tune to a light and dark overcast when the song picks up, and finally to a full-on blizzard where it puts your platforming and cannon shooting skills to the test. And the music becomes more intense, suitable for the storm. It is just exhilarating on what this level has to offer, until the storm finally subsides at the end. Also, you should take extra caution if you wish to ride the steel keg here. And the slopes provide an extra obstacle, and it can simulate some realism on climbing an actual mountain. At least it beats the hell out of Mount Everest. Ugh. At first I wanted to make it at the top of the list, as it clearly shows what a wintry level is truly made for. But there were a few others. This does make it the perfect wintry level, and it can't possibly be replicated, even in future titles. Oh man, now we're breaking through! The Dark Ice Mines from Star Fox Adventures make it a decent ice level. I'm still very disappointed they picked Fushina over this, and not mention it at all. Anyway, this is the first sacred location that had been separated from Soria, as one of its floating locations and home to one of the 2 volcanic spellstones. Fox and Tricky traverse through some icy and sometimes fiery environments, a rare mix in most ice levels since Super Mario Galaxy and Wario Land 4. You'd notice this was the labor grounds, as the Snowborn are forced into slavery by Scales. It can be a depressing place as you feel sorry for them, even when you meet Bellina Tay, who got fed up by her father's betrayal. Fox and Tricky are their only hope, and the environments and locations are just beyond breathtaking, in conjunction with ice physics that are terrible. There are loads of fun to be had there too, including Tricky's new flame ability, riding a couple snowboards even through a blizzard, collecting various treasures, exploring different areas, firing away using a sharp claw cannon, including decimating a few foes, riding on another snowmobile, and encountering your first epic major boss fight with Galdon. But there seems to be some tumultuous areas like running up the conveyor belts while holding an explosive barrel, distracting Galdon and retrieving the Spellstone, and even making platforms by shooting down stalactites while avoiding the bone-chilling water. But once you reunite with Bellina, it can be an incredible expedition. Let's not forget the various music tracks that play out in each distinctive area as well. Dark Ice Mines has truly been one of my all-time favorite places and adventures, and even the whole franchise. It's just a real damn shame that no one else has ever talked about this. I can put you all on my naughty list to those who overlook something special and just focus on the lackluster, modern, and military first-person shooter titles. Don't make me go Grinch on you, you bad, worthless gamers! Hell to the yes! This is what a wintry level should be all about. A fun, exhilarating level that reminds us of the fun parts of the season, which can be found in the Snowy Mountain, also known as Ice Cap. This is like miles better than its predecessor, even though in Sonic Adventure, It pays homage to the same level encountered in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as Sonic and Tails had witnessed Angel Island falling once again next to the Mystic Ruins, thus allowing access to this fun snow ride. As any Sonic fan can tell you, this is indeed one of the best and most iconic, as the most famous snowboarding level in all of the series and gaming. From leaping and performing amazing tricks off the ramps, to blasting down the mountain after winding up in a ball, to even being chased by an entire avalanche. This wintry level has it all. It functions as Sonic's 4th level, Tails' 3rd level, and even Big's 2nd level. Nice pattern counting down, but ice fishing for Froggy can be a real downer by comparison. But I can't let it ruin the experience, especially when flying fast with Tails to the end. I hadn't discovered much of Sonic Unleashed yet, so Halaska didn't make the slide. What fun is it to race on down an ice mountain tonight? I know, several other YouTubers had put it on their list of Arctic levels. And to tell you the truth, I don't blame them. What else needs to be said? It has literally everything you need for an Arctic level, even a holiday one. And it has loads of fun and exhilaration fit for the holidays. Snow and ice everywhere without the daunting slippery physics, cruising around as a cute little walrus, Bumbo's own little igloo skull, along with Froggy, Soggy, and Monkey's own cute igloo, a humongous slide that's beyond breathtaking, an amazing environment filled with a ginormous Christmas tree and snowman, even to fly around and use the legendary Beak Bomb, going through a few exciting Arctic races, giving gifts to the lesser fortunate. The holiday list just goes on and on. Even with the loads of fun collectibles, too. Unlike several entries on the list, this Arctic level is almost endless, and much like the holidays, it's difficult to see it go. And you always have things to give and receive, making it an important lesson for the holidays. It's packed with the holiday spirit. It's memorable, heartwarming despite the frigid climate, and the most fun to be had level in the whole game. And all gaming. It just makes you want to jump for joy when everything has been said and done. But it is not number 1. Let me give some greetings to the honorable mentions. Why hasn't anyone mentioned this entry on their wintry levels list? Oh yeah! The final level before your fight with Tanzra makes its way to number 1. It's got everything a winter level shall provide. ActRaiser took the cake and froze it. And it's the top of it since it's the last level before facing off with the big bad. Northwall seems to be an unusual name based on the North Pole, and the atmosphere shifts constantly, from a serene atmosphere in the first act to to a more heart-pumping one in Act 2, and even a sim level that gets you warmed up in preparation for the final challenge. Though, I really do despise the Golden Skulls wreaking havoc on the village and causing massive damage to Angel like those in Eidos. As the final challenge before confronting Tansra himself, he was showing no limits in this level. As for the atmosphere, it's amazing! The ice physics are solid, for the most part. The environments aren't too shabby, and it always has a glistening look to it, even flying over the city. Not even having the fear of drowning. The Incubus provides us a fair first boss, and as you climb to the top of its own version of the Christmas tree, the Tree of Woe, you come across its own star, the Ice Wyvern. Although I actually thought he was more like a large pterodactyl. And do not disregard the music here! From the chilling tune for Act 1 to the epic conclusion in Act 2! Seriously, this should be added to a Star Wars movie! God, even the music can let you know it's go time, and there's no turning back. Originally, 3cc Peak would have made the cut, but ActRaiser hasn't been mentioned a lot. Besides, with some epic music, incredible action, some ice physics that are mostly on par, and a level that can keep your heart racing while testing your might and skills, I think this makes it as the best wintry level in my eyes. I'm the Ecron writer, and I wish ActRaiser would get a lot more praise from past gamers. Happy holidays, everyone!
We wish you would watch F-Zero, we wish you would watch F-Zero, we wish you would watch F-Zero every week of the year.
I come from the past.
He drives very fast.
If Rick can't beat Soda,
He'll wind up dead last. We wish you would watch F-Zero, we wish you would watch F-Zero, we wish you would watch F-Zero.
Happy holidays from all of us at F-Zero.